So this is Long Beach. This is a wild circuit, a lot of drama, right?
Oh yeah.
So, what's the most unusual way a race has affected you outside of the track? Like something happened on that race day, and you were just like, oh. Like for example, the Indy 500 with the milk. Maybe
Well,
it ruins your relationship with milk afterwards.
well, I'm trying to think of like one situation. I think the weirdest thing is sometimes is getting dreams. Like you have scenarios that run through your head that are so real, and maybe it's the night before a race, and they're so real and so vibrant that you're like, oh, is it actually happening? Obviously, you kind of got to wake yourself up. Also, the other thing is like I've definitely had a lot of fears of missing like the start of a race. Like
Nightmares.
you're distracted about something and you got your time off, and next thing you know, you're missing. But I don't know that I've had any sort of really negative experience with something. Um, the only other thing I'd maybe mention is food, right? Like sometimes you have a food that then you get in the car and your stomach is just on fire and it's hard to go back. So like I always eat pretty plain pasta,
Right.
things like that. So
Avoid the seasoning.
exactly.
Now, this question is a little different. Are you familiar with Bill Nye, the science guy?
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you do the Bill, Bill, Bill?
Bill.
Yes.
Of course, we all
Perfect.
grew up with Bill
Yes,
Nye.
definitely. Well, one of the things that he stated that stayed with me was that everyone that you will ever meet will know something that you do not. So, what is something that somebody taught you outside of motorsports that you're able to apply to motorsports?
Oh, I would say yeah, I mean, well, look, not specifically one thing, but I think what you said in general, which is the art of being a sponge. We have a few
Yes.
guys. We have one guy who works on our team we call Sponge. He's a pretty quiet guy, but he absorbs absolutely everything that's told to him. And I think even in motorsports, um, there's a lot of things that we face each and every day that our elders or people with experience are able to teach us. That even me, after 19 years in the sport, is like, okay, I don't know the resolution to this, so what do we do? And I remember that really stuck with me. In 2007, my rookie year, I was in Cleveland, and I was struggling. I called my dad at the end of the day. He was not at the race that weekend. I was not driving for him at that time. And he said, oh, in 1984, legitimately, I was struggling too, and I did this, this, and this. Up to that point, I always thought, well, dad doesn't know what he's talking about, right? Like every kid. And then the next day I tried it, and we were massively competitive. I mean, completely transformed our weekend. And like things like that really start to set in, right? Um, but I try to take in as much of that as I can as well, like in my business and stuff, like responsiveness, right? Making sure that people are always responding, listening to the clients, like all these statistics that you see, I find fascinating.
No, that's beautiful. Learning from your parents and then always being what I was telling Willpower is that we're perpetual students. We're always learning and we should always be receptive to
Trying.
learning. Yes, no, it
What did
sounds
he
like
say
you.
to that?
Well, no, the same thing. He said he couldn't remember who gave him advice, but that, yeah, there's been lessons that he's.
Well, and when you put somebody like later, I'm gonna think of it. Now I'm gonna think of this question, and
Yes.
something's gonna hit. But like I feel like through my life, there's been so many people have an impact on knowledge that have nothing to do with racing, and sometimes people. I can't think of one situation now, but not long ago, somebody was talking to me and said something that just rang true to the core that you were kind of like, whoa, like
Set you
never
back.
even really thought about that before. And so you have to listen.
Yes.
We never fully understand what everything is all about. There's
Right.
a lot of knowledge out there.
Right. And it's to everyone. Like I was telling Will, you could learn from an entomologist and then apply that somehow. Like insects are resilient. Okay, I'm going to be like an insect.
For sure. Yeah.
And things like
No
that.
doubt.
And then the last question, if our roles were reversed and I was the driver and you were the interviewer, what question would you ask me that I have not?
So, what do you do each and every day to perfect your craft, to be better at what you do?
So now I'm going to make that your question.
Um, for me, I think a lot of it comes down to film study, even in racing, to go back to understand, what I've done right, what in the years past, for instance, here in Long Beach, like what were good things I've done, what are really poor decisions that I've made. Um, I think the way that you drive the car, trying to understand, like even young drivers like Louis, my new teammate, yeah, he's only done 2 races, but he may do something in the car that, oh, I've never even really looked at that. And his driving style is very different than mine. So it goes back to the last question of absorbing what he's doing to try to understand if there's something that I need to change, with my style to do things differently. And I think that we all see that and we experience that, and each and every day. It's hard if you're closed-minded on the way that you're going to drive a race car. You're going to struggle, right? And so you've always got to be open.
Right. Well, by the sounds of it, I think Bill Nye taught us well, and good luck on your race.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.